Hey guys, this is just going to be a quick tutorial on the basics of MIDI mappings in Traktor Pro. So the first thing you're going to want to do is fire up Traktor Pro. When you've got that started, go ahead and click File and then Controller Manager. That's going to bring up our MIDI mapping configuration screen. The first section you want to look at is Device Setup up the top here. If we click Device, you'll notice that there's Generic Keyboard and Generic MIDI. For now, we're just going to click on Generic Keyboard. This basically means that we can control Traktor with the keyboard rather than using the mouse to click on the buttons in Traktor, and that can be very useful. The next section is Assignment Table. This is the really important section. This is where your MIDI mappings are stored. So if we notice, there's two main columns that we want to worry about. The first one is Control, and the second is Mapped To. Control is the function in Traktor, such as play, pause, cue, volume fader. That's the function in Traktor. Map to is the key on your keyboard that will control that function. So if we scroll down this list, and we're going to look for play/pause, which is right here. So we've got the control play/pause in Traktor, and that's mapped to T on the keyboard. So if we close this screen, and we drag a track from our library onto deck A, and I'm just going to click T on my keyboard, and this should play a track. And we'll click that again to pause. So there you go, you can see that working. We're going to go back to the Controller Manager, scroll back down to play/pause. You might have noticed there were two entries for play/pause. Now if we look at the assignment table, the first one says deck A and the second one says deck B. The deck we were just looking at was deck A, so that's correct. T was controlling play/pause on deck A. Look at the next entry, Z will control play/pause on deck B. And that'll work in just the same way. The next thing you guys will probably want to do is to edit an entry. So if we click this first one, we can see that it's mapped to T. If we come down to device mapping, we'll see T here again. The easiest way to change the key is to click the Learn button, and that basically means Traktor is going to listen to your keyboard input. So once you click Learn, click on whatever key you like. I suggest now that you press the equals key, and you'll see that equals will come up as the new mapping for play/pause on deck A. If we close, press equals, you'll notice that that should work now. Back to the Controller Manager. Scroll back down to play/pause. So you'll notice here that all these settings below here, all these settings, device mapping, mapping details and button options, they all change according to which mapping you've got selected. So just remember that when you click up here, everything down here will change. We'll go ahead and take that back to T. Now these other options are a bit more advanced. We'll look at those in the next tutorial. But yeah, just have a play around with that. And the next tutorial we'll look at doing these mappings for a MIDI controller, which is a little more complicated, but will be really useful for you guys out there that have bought a MIDI controller. So I hope that's helped. And any questions, just leave a comment. And just stay tuned for more videos. Thanks guys.